able to tear apart the NRA, how will you be sure that another gun group doesn't pop up? So like you don't have to break them apart like after your term?
Okay, good question, honey. Well, it's not so much I want to break apart the NRA. I just want to hold the NRA accountable. There's a thing, honey, called, I shouldn't call you honey. I'm talking to my grandson. That's how I talk now. I apologize. Son, there's a Second Amendment. You've probably heard of it. The Second Amendment says there's a whole bunch of amendments we have that set out special rights that we have. The Second Amendment says, basically, you have a right to bear arms, meaning you could have a weapon. But from the very beginning, like every other amendment in the Constitution, like the First Amendment, you can freedom of speech and assembly. But no one in here could stand up, kiddo, and yell, fire, and claim it's free speech because someone would get hurt. Us running out of here. It would be, they could be arrested for inciting a problem. So free speech is an absolute. Second Amendment's not absolute. From the very beginning, the Second Amendment acknowledged that certain people couldn't own weapons. They weren't allowed to own weapons. If you're a terrorist, if you are someone, if you're 4 years old and you want to go in, or 11 years old and you want to go buy a shotgun, a whole range of things. And in addition to that, it's said from the very beginning, there's certain weapons you can't own. And I love the people who talk about the tree of liberty is water of the blood of patriots, about you have to defend against the government. Well, if that's the case, you need an F-15 with Hellfire missiles. No, think about it. I'm not joking. An AR-15 is not going to keep the Army from taking your house. All kidding aside. So we've always been able to. It's always been rational to say some people can't own a weapon, and only certain kinds of weapons can be owned. Now, honey, I didn't want to break up the NRA. What I wanted to do is make them responsible. So I said, I'm the only one who's taken them on nationally and beaten them. There's a thing called the Brady Bill. I was the guy who was the author of that said, I wasn't the author, I got it passed as chairman of the Judiciary Committee, and it says that you have to go through a background check. So you can't just buy a gun in the mail. You got to go and you got to say, this is who I am. I want to purchase a weapon. And you get checked through your background. Are you a criminal? Are you a terrorist? Et cetera. So I was able to get that passed. The other thing I was able to pass was that affected the NRA and more the gun manufacturers than even the NRA, was that they could not sell assault weapons anymore, AR-15s, etc. And you could have a limited number of bullets in a clip, in a magazine. A magazine, honey, is not something you open up and read. It's a thing that holds the bullet. No, because a lot of people get